Have you noticed that the shelves of bookstores and the catalogs of publishers are dominated by science fiction titles by English-speaking authors? Moreover, they are most often from creators from two English-speaking countries, the United Kingdom and the USA. Of course, there are voices from other countries as well, but they get lost in the flood of native English language works. Has science fiction been colonized by these two countries? Dear friends, welcome to the Mutahamini channel. My name is Karol, and today we will talk about Francesco Verso, his future fiction initiative, and the project of decolonizing literature and bringing science fiction from various countries around the world to all readers. Also, we will talk about the fascination with Solarpunk, and finally, Francesco will have a few words for you about himself and his project. So, I warmly invite you to watch. Francesco Verso is an Italian science fiction writer as well as translator and publisher, and a man with a mission and the strength to fulfill it. Francesco was born in Bologna. When he grew up, he worked professionally with computers at IBM and later at Lenovo, but literature was always his main passion. He started writing as early as 1996, and in 2004, his novel Antidoti Umani received a nomination for the Urania Award, the largest and most important Italian award given by the magazine Urania for the winners of the literary competition that the magazine organizes every year. Importantly, he received this award in 2009 for the novel Il fabbricante di sorrisi, and in 2015 he again received the Urania Award for the novel Bloodbusters. Later, he wrote many short stories, published more novels, and eventually focused on what, besides science fiction itself, struck a chord with him, namely the state of science fiction literature from around the world. What Francesco noticed made him decide to take action. Wherever you look, you see more reprints of classics from Anglo-Saxon countries, and right after that there's a flood of currently publishing and writing again creators from the USA and the United Kingdom. With such an enormous supply in the English language publishing market, science fiction from other countries has no chance of breaking through. It gets lost in a sea of prose translated from English. And what about prose from other European countries? From India, African countries, Latin America, Asia? Where and how to reach them? Thanks to the live conversation with Francesco, which I had the pleasure of co-hosting with Grzegorz Czapski on the White Raven magazine page, which by the way should shortly show up both on the magazine's YouTube channel and here, I learned how the idea for future fiction was born. Francesco, during a visit to Amsterdam, popped into a small bookstore in a basement, where he spotted science fiction from countries other than USA and UK. A very small amount. So he began to read and was overwhelmed by different perspectives, viewpoints and issues described in stories that people who only read English origin literature are unaware of. It was a breakthrough moment, and the right person found himself in the right place. Francesco decided to take action and showcase SF from all over the world. He then founded the Future Fiction project. Here is what we can read on the project's website. Future Fiction is a cultural association for a social nature founded by Francesco Verso and Francesco Mantovani. The project aims to disseminate and promote an interdisciplinary approach to the idea of the future, using science fiction and speculation as bridges between today and tomorrow, a multicultural and transmedia narrative laboratory that explores the ambivalent and symbiotic relationship between humans and technology, with the ambition of mapping other tomorrows presented by each culture and tradition. Future Fiction organizes and participates in seminars, workshops, conferences and congresses in Italy and around the world, addressing very current issues related to innovation, forecasting and speculation, thereby contributing to the debate through articles, essays, novels and anthologies, both printed and digital. After more than 160 digital publications and 50 paper books, The project has become an excellent content aggregator and a place of discovery for anyone who perceives tomorrow not just gloomy dystopias and unlikely apocalypses. It is also a tool for analysis and entertainment, helping to find orientation amidst the incredible transformations that increasingly impact humanity on all levels, from technological to biopolitical, social, economic and environmental. In addition to the main future fiction series, which publishes the best genre writers in translations from at least 13 languages and from over 30 different countries. Future Fiction is developing a series of bilingual volumes and fiction and non-fiction that addresses the most pressing issues of tomorrow, from the use of artificial intelligence to environmental risk related to climate change, from the future of human reproduction to new 3D printing creators, from big data applications to gene editing made possible by CRISPR-Cas9 techniques, to post-cyberpunk urban scenarios where we all, from Beijing to Nairobi, from London to Sao Paulo, passing through Rome, already live. Francesco's mission is not only to publish science fiction from around the world, it is also a strong need to build an international community of writers, translators, publishers, bloggers and reviewers from many countries of the world, to create a community united by a common goal: international promotion of local science fiction. I think that's enough to take a look at his work. And that's not all yet. This incredible gentleman also conducts workshops on writing science fiction. And he does this with a commitment to important issues in the real world. He approaches science fiction like Istvan Visvari, using the platform to talk about important issues and highlights problems, but at the same time, he focuses on exploring solutions, seeking answers to pressing questions: how to heal the ravaged planet, how to improve social relations, and how to break free from the predatory grasp of soulless corporations. And now it's time for another important element: the subgenre of science fiction that Francesco places on a pedestal. It's Solarpunk, a movement promoting a positive future, ecological and in harmony with nature. While at it, he addresses an important issue. Slowly, Solarpunk is becoming just a facade. A pretty color palette and aesthetics showing beautiful cities full of greenery and smiling people walking along tree-shaded paths. And unfortunately, that's just window dressing. We need to look for solutions to show what each and any of us can do today to live in an ecological solarpunk sustainable way. This kind of approach and action for the planet, its inhabitants, creators and consumers of science fiction made a huge impression on me. I believe we should support Francesco in this wonderful endeavor. So if you want to showcase your prose and collaborate with him, Francesco is open to new contacts and opportunities. I had the pleasure to meet him at Worldcon in Glasgow 2024, where I purchased 2 anthologies, the Italian and Chinese, so reviews will appear on the channel hopefully pretty soon. And in the meantime, I recorded a short interview during the meeting, which I invite you to watch now. We are on.
Oh, you mean right now?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I mean, if you don't, I'm thinking of like few minutes if you want to say.
Sure. It's very noisy here. Okay, but
that's okay. I'll work it out.
You asked me something, or I had to improvise?
Well, if you could tell us. How do you come about reaching out to all these various authors?
All right,
and
so,
what's the idea behind it?
Yeah, so my name is Francesco Verso. I'm an Italian science fiction writer and editor of Future Fiction. We are a small press based in Italy, but we are a multicultural project that is scouting and publishing the best science fiction authors in translation from 14 languages and more than 40 countries. We are the only project in the world to do this. We do it to try to preserve the biodiversity of the future. We do it by trying to decolonize the future. The idea that the future is being colonized by one culture, one language, one economy, one religion, one single view of the future. So there are many more futures around. So that's why we go out and scout for Chinese science fiction, Indian science fiction, African science fiction from Latin America, from many countries that are entitled to tell their future from their point of view and not be told a globalized, standardized future that is imposed on them. So we try to remove this layer of colonization of the imagination by giving voice to them, using translators as antennas, using editors as, of course, a local resource that can open up the gate to their community, and approaching science fiction writers in their original language. We have now more than 80 books, maybe 20 in English. We're trying to bring these to many readers. We are here at the Worldcon in Glasgow, and we go to many other conventions around Europe and in the world. Next week we will be in Rotterdam for the Eurocon. Ciao.
That's amazing. Thank you for your time. Take care.
That's all for today, my dear friends. Stay cool, read good science fiction, and see you in the next video.